it's really just another motivating factor because you want to make them proud and you want to show them like, hey, like you got us here, like we're going to take it all the way.
Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I'm Alicia Jay, and today we have an amazing guest, somebody who I've wanted to talk to for a while now, and we're going to have a great conversation today. Washington Spirit midfielder, Hal Hershfelt. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
You know, I wanted to open this up with saying, I know you're from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yes.
My cousins live there.
Okay.
So shout out to Michael and Sarah. But I was just going to say, definitely been there. Love your city. It's got to be completely different going. I mean, I know you're not just coming from Mississippi, but going from Mississippi to Washington. What has been the biggest kind of difference for you?
There's stuff to do. I mean, even after Mississippi, I was in Clemson, which is like a small college town. Like we're in South Carolina. I think the closest city is Greenville, which is like 45 minutes away.
Right.
So, there's definitely a lot more to do here. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I love Washington myself as well, but Washington, D.C., I should say. But, you know, you're a rookie this year, first season. What has been, I mean, you've done so many things. What has been your favorite part of the season so far? I know you're still in it, but what has been the favorite thing that you've done this year as a
Honestly,
rookie?
like this is just a common theme throughout the whole, well, first of all, the Olympics was crazy. It was so cool to just be in France, be with the team, everything like that. But also, this is so recent, but our home games recently have been insane. Just the crowds that we've been drawing in, and the high intensity games that we have like that. That's something that, you know, you're never going to forget playing in this league. So it's cool that I'm able to experience that in my first year here, my first playoffs. So yeah.
Well, you talk about the crowd. They are certainly just absolutely amazing. There was a whole article on the crowd of your last game. What of an impact have they been on your first season and just the team in general?
Oh my gosh, they've been honestly showing out since our earlier games. It's just been recently we've been consistently like packing out the stadium. And I mean, we have a big stadium too, like 20,000. I think we had like 19,000 last game, which is phenomenal. It just kind of goes to show the growth of women's sports in general, but they really give us that energy in those like nail biter games where it's close or you're coming back from being down like we were this weekend. They really give us that extra boost.
What is it like to be in this moment in women's sports right now? You know, you talked about the growth of it, but
yeah,
it's so beautiful for me to see. I mean, I played basketball a long time ago, and I've obviously been a fan of women's sports for as long as I can remember, but to see it has been amazing. But to be a part of it, what is that like?
it's just so exciting. I mean, the Spirit posted something the other day where it was like one of their playoff games, I think, had 5,000 last year. And the fact that we're hitting like above 15,000, like consistently at our games in such a short amount of time is just phenomenal. And I think it just makes me even more excited of what's to come if it can change that quickly. In that short amount of time, like what's it going to be like in the next couple of years? It's just a really exciting time for us right now.
Definitely exciting. And I know for you, you jumped right in with the Spirit and you've cemented yourself as, you know, one of the Spirit's midfield for sure, like without a doubt. What has gone into that and how is that like helping you with your growth as an overall player?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things. First of all, like I have some great teammates, a lot of my older teammates, like Hatchie, Andy, Barney, Aubrey, all those people. They've just been really great for us coming in. I think they've never looked at us as like, little rookies. They've always seen us as like contributing members, and the same thing with our coaches feeling that way too. They set really high expectations for us, but not in like a negative, like we expect like hardcore way. It's more so like, we think that you're capable of this. You can do this. It's very like uplifting. So I think that's been how all of our rookies have contributed so greatly. It also helps like kind of strengthen numbers. We have so many of us that are so tight knit and we all came in together, and I feel like that helps when you have so many people that are going through the same experience.
You talk about an experience. This year you've experienced a lot of injuries, but how do you think that kind of fueled what you guys are doing in the postseason? Because it's certainly, you know, you have a fuel behind you in what you're doing. How do you think that has fueled you?
Yeah, I think honestly, like those were huge losses to our team. Like Andy, Croy, Ule. I mean, even when Trin was out for a couple months being back, I mean that was scary. It's just like when you have players that are so great like that watching you, they would do anything to be on the field. It's really just another motivating factor because you want to make them proud and you want to show them like, hey, like you got us here, like we're gonna take it all the way.
Well, making your team proud and making everyone on your team proud is a huge thing. What has been your favorite team moment this year between all of you?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. Um, Honestly, like we've had so many like game-winning goals at Audi like in the last couple minutes. I'm crying every time. It hits me in the heart every single time. Croy's had one, Lacey's had one. The goal this game recently, like literally tears in my eyes. But other than that, like away trips. I love away trips, which typically I feel like people are like, an away trip. But I feel like that's an opportunity for us. We always hang out. We go on little coffee runs. Like we kind of make the most out of our little trips. So yeah, those are definitely my favorite moments being with the Spirit so far.
I definitely saw that you guys have a whole coffee thing together. What's your favorite coffee drink? Because I love coffee myself. So,
Yeah. So I've recently been on like a cappuccino grind. I've been kind of drinking those, but previously I like shaken espressos. I like lattes. I'm really not picky. I just go and like whatever speaks to me on the menu. I'm like, you know what? Why not try this today? See if I like it. So
little caffeine. Little
just
caffeine never hurts you.
yeah.
Well, looking forward to your matchup against Gotham this weekend. What do you think is it going to take to win that game or that match, I should say?
I think that first of all, being at home, is going to be a great asset for us, having that energy behind us, having the city behind us. But I also think they are a great team, and we've had two successful games against them. I think they're going to be coming with a little bit of that bite because of those two past results. So we need to be on our game from the start because I know they're coming with a lot of energy because of the past this season. But at this point, that doesn't matter. We need to pretend like that didn't happen and move on.
I love it. Definitely looking forward to seeing y'all play. I was thinking a little bit back to the last match that you had and your teammate, Tara McEwen. She missed her sister's wedding for the match. Yeah. And I was just thinking at the time, it took a lot for her to do that. Like, it took a lot for her to do that. How much do you think that that moment meant to the team? And would you be able to do it if you were in her shoes?
I think that just shows like the type of player Tara is, like on and off the field. I mean, that's just a huge moment for your family to miss your sister's wedding. Like that's only gonna happen once, but she showed up and she balled out regardless. I honestly think that that's an example for the rest of us too, of like the commitment that we need to be able to show. Like if Tara did it, like we all can do it. And I think like anyone on this team, because of how dedicated we are as a group, would also make the decision, like no matter how hard it is. But she was definitely like the gold standard in that moment. Like we heard about that, we're like, whoa, that's a big deal. But she came and she balled out. She tied it up for us, which is phenomenal. So I was really excited for her because she deserved it, especially after making a sacrifice like that.
She definitely did. Definitely a moment that she'll never forget for two reasons, right? But ultimately, she, did it for the team, and you can just really tell overall that, you guys are so connected. You guys are playing as one. And also, you do have the crowd. We touched on this earlier. That is helping you. I think it's going to be a sold out crowd. Like I think they've already talked about it. What is that going to do for you guys as you go into this match with Gotham?
Yeah, just more momentum, like always with them. I mean, even like clearing balls out of bounds, you have people screaming, like throwing things, like waving rags. Like the energy is just amazing. I feel like when it comes to intense games like that, where you might feel that fatigue, you might feel a little tired. It's been a long season. In those moments, I feel like the crowd helps us because it's like a boost of adrenaline, you know?
Definitely. Well, when you look at your whole career and you think about, where you're at now, when did you know that you wanted to be a midfielder? Like when was that?
A midfielder. So from a young age, I was definitely a more like defensive minded player. I just love defending. Like, I don't know what it is. I've always been like that. So I played center back for a really long time. And then I want to say in high school, no, middle school. I'd say like middle school. I was like kind of turned into a midfielder because I run so much. I was in center back and I would make crazy runs out of the back when you could do that back in the day when you were like 12. But they're like, she can move, she can run a lot. So they threw me in the midfield, and then holding mid kind of stuck because I do have that defensive presence, and that's what I really love to do. So yeah.
Well, thinking back, you talked about middle school and all of that. What has been your favorite soccer memory growing up?
Gosh.
I know it's so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
just my
growing up.
favorite soccer memory in general was the draft. Growing up, I'd say my favorite soccer memory. I lived in so many places growing up. Because military family, I never lived anywhere for more than like 2 years. I feel like just having a team and having a community that I was able to connect with so quickly, I feel like that gave me kind of like friends and like a community. So I feel like that's my favorite memory, just the memories that I shared with my teammates when I was younger, for sure.
You talk about the draft and that being a favorite memory, with not having the draft, with the new CBA moving forward. What do you think that's going to be like? Because I think the draft is such a pivotal moment for some people, obviously. You said it was one of your favorite memories. What do you think that's going to be like? And what do you think about kind of like that part of the change that's going to be coming?
I think the draft obviously like served its purpose for teams being able to like pick up players and stuff like that. But I feel like in America, it's very common in America. It's more so like the event, like the glitz and the glamour, and like it's so fun to hear your name called and everything like that. But I think in the long run, for like players and their careers and everything, this was definitely the best decision to make. It's like safer this way, it's smarter this way. So yeah, that'll be exciting to see how it changes. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like there's pros and cons. But I think just that was something that was fun for me, at least. But I can see downsides to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All of those changes, really excited about seeing. That was an amazing blockbuster.
Yeah,
CBA.
for sure.
What are you most looking forward to with the changes that are going to come with that?
I just like more autonomy over what we can do, and honestly, like more security. I think that was like especially with like guaranteed contracts and stuff like that, or consensual trades, I guess that's how you say it, but stuff like that. I think that gives us more security in our jobs and where we live. Like, this is not just somewhere we play, it's like our home too, So I feel like bringing that like human aspect to it is going to be really helpful when it comes to like longevity of careers and like security and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And literally long overdue, right? So looking forward to all of those changes. One thing that you just had a change with is you had your first USWNT call up, I guess. Your first, yes. What has that been like? And, what does it mean to you to be and represent, the country? Because it's just such an amazing thing, and especially at so early in your career, right?
Yeah, it honestly meant the world to me. I'd been around for the Olympics. I'd been a camp before that. And so I was just honestly so happy to be with the group, but it was always in the back of my head, when is it going to happen? So I was really happy to finally get out on the field there. I think I had my first cap in the first game against Iceland. And then I was able to actually start and play. We did a lot of rotations in the Argentina game. So that was really cool. And it's definitely something I'm going to remember forever. Just playing for your country is just such a different feeling, having that crest. It's insane. So.
Who has been the player that you were most looking to play alongside in the USWNT?
Yeah, so I actually grew up watching Emily Sonnet a lot. I think I really like her game because we're actually seeing them this weekend, but she's really scrappy, defensive minded, can play multiple positions, and I feel like that's someone that I've always kind of watched her play, and I was like, wow, like she's just solid in any position she plays. So that was someone that I was excited to meet and play with.
And I'm sure you've got a lot of advice from people, like from players or coaches or whatever the case may be, on playing for the national team. What has been the greatest piece of advice that you've received?
Yeah, so this one I actually heard like this past camp. And it was so good that it was like, yeah, I'm trying to think of the exact words, but it was something along the lines of like everyone's journey is different. And to like not put pressure on yourself regardless of what your journey looks like. And I feel like that kind of like when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I've had like a very different journey than most people. I had I never had a youth call up. I never had a full team call up. And then I was a rookie and randomly got thrown into it halfway through the season. So I feel like that kind of like flipped a switch in my head because I was like, you know what? Yeah, like my journey's been kind of different and maybe I've like thought differently because of it. But I don't need to look at it as a negative because everyone's path is different.
It sure is. And that's not advice just for soccer. That's for everybody. Like,
Yeah,
I know my path has been
everywhere.
different. Yeah, I know my path has been different.
Yeah.
So when you think about, kind of where you've been, your path, where you've gone, what do you see in the next 5 years for yourself?
Oh, like goals?
Whatever, however you want to answer it.
Just continuing the success that we've had, like with the Spirit, like, and also like I want to continue getting called up with the national team. That's something that I've always wanted since a young age, and it's just so cool that I finally got my foot in. So I'm hoping to kind of like stay in the loop with that. I would really love that. And then, of course, just being able to kind of maintain both levels in club and for country too. I feel like it can be hard like bouncing between the two, but that's something that I kind of want to get under control, is being able to like have that level at both, I guess.
And what do you think about your Olympics future? I know you had, you were alternate this year in Paris and you said it was such an amazing time. What do you see in that respect? Because that experience had to be amazing, but I know you want more for sure.
Yeah, I would love to go back. But that's a long time from now.
Yeah.
My head is definitely, that is something that's definitely in the back of my head. I'm like, I want to go to another one and I want to not be an alternate. But, I mean, being an alternate still is a very important role, but I want to
goal is a goal.
I was able to get and experience it, but I want to be able to like feel it, like be in that, like,
What was your favorite moment there? What was your favorite Paris Olympic moment?
I have to say, like, just that final, like, game for gold. Like, that was such, like, an electric game. Like, where we were in Paris. Like, both the teams were just fighting so hard. It was super physical. Like, bodies were flying. The crowd was going crazy. Just the energy and the celebrations and reactions afterwards. Just the tears of joy and, like, people embracing each other. That's something I'm going to remember forever.
Well, speaking of Paris, there's a lot of fashion going on there, and you definitely have an amazing style. See it all over your feeds. Absolutely love it. And, I was even looking at your hands, your nails, your rings, everything. I was like, okay, you better accessorize that sweatshirt. You know what I mean? But how does style kind of like impact your life and just kind of sport? Because, they go hand in hand now in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure. I think that style is like the easiest way to express yourself. I feel like I'm a very expressive person. Like when it comes to the tattoos, like the things that I wear, like how I play, like I feel like I have a particular style when it comes to that. And I feel like it kind of reflects itself in my actual style, like a little bit of edge, like really, but a little bit of edge.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm like that on and off the field. So yeah, that's definitely a way to express yourself. I love it. Cause like, I mean, you see me, obviously we see when people play, like you're an athlete in that moment, but it's fun to have like a little flair outside of that,
What's your favorite like fashion brand, your go-to?
Oh, my go-to? Oh, I don't even know. Oh my gosh. This is so basic, but I wear basics, but I feel like I like to jazz it up with like accessories and stuff like that. Like I don't wear anything too crazy. I think the craziest thing that I've done is recently, like we have a designer for the Spirit, Dama Welsh, Dead Dirt, and that was really cool. She made like custom pieces for our team and stuff like that. So that was really sick. But I'm more of like a basics girly, but I jazz it up with like the rings and the hair and the accessories. Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I'm even thinking about back when I played, which was a while ago, we didn't really think about pregame fits, but when you think about a pregame fit, what goes into it for you? Just what makes you feel good or what?
Yeah, so for me, it's like a little bit of comfort. Like, I don't want to wear something like too incredibly, like, restricting before a game, especially if I'm like driving to the game myself, like our home games typically go. But yeah, something comfortable, but like a little bit of flair, like a little something. Like, I don't know, if it comes to like accessories or like even the piece that I had to wear the other week from the designer, stuff like that, or even just like bags, like comfortable, but also like cute for sure.
Well, in addition to that look that you mentioned with the designer, what have been some of your favorite looks of the season?
Of mine or of
Of yours? Well, of yours, and then is there anyone that you kind of look to and you like their style, also like another player?
our team is like so fun with that. Like Trin for sure. Like she's always coming with the hair. She's always coming with the fits. This past game, she had like pants with like pictures of our team on them for like playoffs, which was so sick. Croy also, she has that flair. I love it. And then I also love like Gabby Carl. Like I feel like she's so like she'll wear the black blazer with the skirt and like the tights and everything, and she looks so like put together and like business casual with like a little edge. I love it.
I love it. Listen, the theme is a little edge, and I'm here for it.
Little bite,
Well, before we let you go, we always like to do a little game of rapid fire. So if you're up for it,
I'm up for it.
Really quick questions and quick answers. So they're fun. Nothing too harmful.
I'm ready.
What's your favorite season? Spring, summer, winter, or fall?
Fall.
Beach, lake, or mountains?
Lake.
That one is tough.
Yeah.
Favorite female athlete?
Favorite female athlete, Julie Ertz.
Favorite male athlete?
Male athlete. Oh my gosh. Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. Favorite sport that isn't soccer?
Ooh, I like watching tennis. I know nothing about it, but I really enjoy watching tennis. I think it's cool.
No, it's so good. It's so good. Favorite music artist?
Oh my gosh. I love Rihanna. I love her.
Same. I'm like, same. Your go-to pump up or pregame song?
Under the Sun by J. Cole and The Baby.
Okay. I like how you had it right here. Is that something you listen to every single?
People have been asking me that so much recently, and like that's always been my go-to, always, like since college. So it's so easy for me to just fire out. Yeah.
You're like, boom, here it is. I love it. 3 things you would want to have with you on a deserted island.
My cat. I'm kidding. She would be no help. Like, oh my gosh. Am I trying to get off the island? Like
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your decision.
My phone, my cat, and my Nespresso machine. Done.
Perfect. Got to get the coffee in there. I'm not mad. And then something you can't live without.
My cat. That's embarrassing. I did 2 things, but about my cat. But cat.
I have to know about this cat. But
she's right here. You already put her in the camera.
Please.
This is Bobby. I've had her since college.
Oh my gosh, Bobby, you were so cute.
Off. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She's a little sleepy right now, but
that's okay. That's you. She can be sleepy. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but Caitlin Clark was in an interview and she said that she does not like cats and they scare her.
Oh, she doesn't? She's never met Bobby before.
That's what I'm saying. Bobby would love her and she would love Bobby.
Yeah.
Period.
Bobby has only good reviews. I've never heard anything bad about her. So
well, I can tell you that my review of this interview has been an A+++++. And just I want to thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I know it's a lot when you're getting prepared for matches and you're in the middle of everything. So thank you so much for being with us today. Really
thank you so much for having me. It was really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.